What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Lucid Daily. And today we actually do have quite a bit of news that we need to go through. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started first with their stock price action. And then we have about 3 or 4 pieces of news that we're going to go through and discuss whether this is good news or bad news for Lucid and what it potentially means. So let's go ahead and dive into it. First off here, we're going to go into the stock price action. And as you can see here, Lucid was up. Let me go ahead and get my laser pointer. Lucid was up 2.8% today, and they were down 0.18% in the after hours. It's actually surprising to me. Let's actually check what the S&P did. I didn't see that before I started recording. The S&P was up, so it did outpace the broader market slightly, and I do think that was because Tesla pretty much followed the broader market. There wasn't necessarily a reason. There's not always a specific reason that Lucid's going to be like 1 or 2% up. It just has to do with the market caps and just different fluctuations with inflows and outflows. But Tesla was up 0.2% today. Tomorrow is the Tesla split. I know a lot of you that watch this are invested into Tesla. So Tesla, let's do the math. Tesla will be trading at 1/3 of this price. So at 891 divided by 3, Tesla will be trading for approximately $297 tomorrow. So if you see Tesla down, like some of your brokerages might show Tesla down like 66%, don't freak out. They have their stock split tomorrow. So that is good news if you're a Tesla investor. There's historically been some runs in the company, and a lot of times we do see those runs bring up the other EV companies along with them. So good news for Lucid when good things happen for Tesla. All right, so let's continue on. Next, we have Rivian. Rivian was up 1.9% today. So Lucid actually did outpace Rivian today. Rivian is up 0.5% in the after hours. I would like to go through Rivian's earnings. I have not yet. But now that I'm more established and I got a studio, we are going to be rock solid. And hopefully I can get a review out on Rivian. Let's try to do it tomorrow on my main channel. And I'll link to it at the end of our Lucid Daily videos. All right. Now let's go into a little bit of news. This came out on the 24th. So today that Lucid is expanding threefold after Pinal County purchased 1,400 additional acres from 14 property owners for $113.5 million. The Lucid site is currently around 600 acres, so they are going to almost triple what they have. And so they're expanding. Looks like even though their headquarters are not in Arizona, their headquarters are in California, which I wouldn't be surprised if one day they move their headquarters to Arizona. I don't know what the federal taxes look like, but I can imagine that California has higher federal taxes. So if their main factory is here, wouldn't be surprised if they one day move it to Arizona. That's just an interesting thought. Maybe I could be wrong. There's just so many companies that are leaving California that the appeal to be kind of a California headquarters is starting to lose that appeal. All right. The next thing I want to talk about was an article. And I don't know if this came out. This came out a couple of days ago, but I feel like I took a little bit of a deeper dive, and I kind of want to talk about what it meant for Lucid investors. So when you hear the name Ray Dalio, he is running a hedge fund that has a massive amount of assets under management. And assets under management, for those of you who don't know, is just the accumulation of all the money that investors are trusting you with. So let's say McKay owns ETF-A, and you guys trust me with your money. I'm going to manage ETF-A, and there was 10 people, and they each gave me $1. I would have then $10 of assets under management. So Ray Dalio's Bridgewater Associates, they have $140 billion of assets under management. That's an absolutely insane amount of money to be managing. And the reason that I bring this up is because if you read, and this is what the headline is, and probably what a lot of people read, is that Ray Dalio was buying Lucid stock, Rivian stock, Neo, Xpeng, and he doubled his stake in Ford. In this article, I probably should have done a little bit more research, but it didn't say exactly how much he has in Ford. I think that would have been interesting. But what it does say is that Ray Dalio added 5 million shares of exposure to Lucid, totaling 285,000 shares, which it was approximately 5 million then. And he did also purchase 62,000 shares in Rivian. Now, I would have thought like, oh, it's either equal or let's just see. So I went ahead and figured out how much he bought Rivian for, and I just used today's share price. It hasn't fluctuated that much since he's bought in. He only spent let's redo that. He only spent he only used 1.9 million of assets under management to buy Rivian. So you can kind of see that he almost believes in Lucid slightly more. Now, when I say believes in, using 1.9 out of like $140 billion of assets under management, it's relatively small, and I don't think that the hedge fund put too much thought into it. They probably just wanted more EV exposure. They actually don't own any Tesla, which is interesting. It says right here, Here, let me go ahead and highlight this for us. We'll make it blue. It says all these bets. Let me highlight that. Perfect. All these bets were made while Bridgewater Associates Fund manager chose, interestingly, not to invest in current EV leader Tesla. So I thought that was really interesting that he didn't invest in Tesla. And again, he did. It does look like he does believe slightly more in Lucid. Whereas if you were probably to take a poll, a lot more people would believe in Rivian over Lucid right now, just with production numbers, which makes sense. And we talked about it in yesterday's video, 2 days ago, that I was not super happy that they actually went ahead with Lucid Sapphire because they already like have so many things to work on for production. And a lot of comments were like saying like, don't worry about it, it's short term. And I understood that, but it actually seemed to me like there was a fair amount of comments that supported me in my thesis that it's kind of like really like, why are we announcing a 7th car when we don't even have a full production going yet? Especially because they're going to do the car beginning of next year, which I don't know how that's going to cut into production, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. It shouldn't be too much of a delay. It was just more kind of like the mentality, and it kind of showed me where the importance of the head of the company is, like Peter Rollinson. Like, why aren't we in the factory doing this? Like, why are we announcing a car right now? Like, I feel like it was just a jab at Tesla because it probably will be faster than the Plaid. And like the only reason they would have made a big hullabaloo out of it is because if it would have been faster than the Plaid, as well as had better range. So it's probably going to have that thing. It'll be cool, but I feel like it was a jab that's going to cost them billions of dollars. And it takes a lot to get a factory line up and running. I'll get off my tangent. So next we have an update. This is actually the title of this video, a much needed update, because I actually drove, funny enough, I drove this Twitter user's car, and this was something that we both agreed on, that I drove his Dream Edition. And the car is a fantastic piece of work. And a lot of times you hear people say like, oh, like the software is just bad. Like if they fix the software, then it'll be a lot better. And that's definitely true. I definitely felt that. It wasn't as laggy as I thought it was going to be, because at first I heard that there was a lot of lagging with the software, but it was not as laggy as I thought. And the software was just kind of slow, and it wasn't like zippy like you would see on a Tesla map. So I do have the unique opportunity to compare both the Lucid and the Tesla because I've driven both. And they did get an update when it comes to maps. So improved map settings, giving you the option to turn live traffic satellite map layers on and off to access these settings, and just tells you where to access them. They also have added complementary charging. Like you can now see where the complementary charging is in Canada. In Canada, and you can now search and navigate. So it looks like they're getting better. It's a pretty nominal software update. You see Jeff Curry, he tweeted that they have the satellite maps, and this is releasing this week. And it's just one of many enhancements planning for Lucid UX over the coming user interface over the coming weeks, including dramatic boot time improvement. And that's one of the biggest complaints. So this is actually really bullish. This is actually something that like makes me really happy. Like buying the land, cool, the Lucid Sapphire, but seeing the software get better, that's where we're going to start to see that's where we're going to start to see the software side of things catch up with the hardware. That's one of the reasons that people love Tesla so much, is because their software, although it's not perfect, it's definitely an industry leader. So I've said this from the beginning. Once Lucid becomes more upfront about autonomy, and once they continue to improve their software and their production, it's actually very interesting very quickly, because they are what's their market cap right now? I have it down here. Let's look. Their market cap is 27 billion. So in relative terms, what's Rivian at? Rivian's at, that's Tesla, 930 billion, and Rivian's at 29 billion. So it'll be interesting. We can do a fundamental analysis. I'll try to do one on Rivian, but we'll see. So that's what I have to bring you guys tonight. I hope you guys had a great day today. And if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Let's chat down in the comments. I hope you guys kind of like this style of presentation where we can go over and highlight things, and I have it a little bit more prepped beforehand. If you do like it, and if you do find my point of view interesting, consider subscribing. And like always, see you next time. Thanks for watching.